What happened to Jason Statham's Mutiny? The Amazon leak explained. Warning spoilers/industry news. Jason Statham's Mutiny was supposed to have its big theatrical release on August 21st, 2026. Instead, Amazon Prime Video accidentally made the entire 95-minute movie available to US users on August 19th, roughly 2 days early. Amazon removed it, but by then viewers had already watched it and copies had begun circulating online. So, what actually happened to Jason Statham's Mutiny? This is one of the strangest movie release mistakes of 2026. Mutiny was supposed to be a straightforward theatrical action movie. Jason Statham. Big screen action. A billionaire murder. A conspiracy. And a release date of August 21st. But just 2 days before audiences were supposed to see it in theaters, something went badly wrong at Amazon. For a short period, people in the United States could simply open Prime Video and watch the entire movie. Not a trailer, not a clip, not a short preview, the whole movie. And that created a serious problem for Lionsgate, the filmmakers and international distributors. What was Mutiny supposed to be? Mutiny is a 95-minute action thriller directed by Jean-François Richet, who previously worked with Gerard Butler on Plane. Jason Statham plays Cole Reed, a former Special Forces operative who is working as private security. His life changes when his billionaire employer is murdered. Reed is then framed for the crime. Instead of simply accepting the accusation, he goes after the people responsible and eventually uncovers a much larger international conspiracy. The movie was designed specifically as a theatrical release. Lionsgate was distributing it in the United States, and the official release date was August 21st. So, having the entire movie appear on Prime Video before that date was obviously not part of the plan. How did the leak happen? This is where we need to be careful. Amazon has not publicly explained the exact technical cause of the mistake. What is known is that the finished movie somehow appeared on the Mutiny Prime Video product page and became playable in full. Reports indicate it was available for around an hour or more before being removed. According to reporting, the mistake involved the Prime Video product page, an area normally used for things such as promotional material and trailers. Instead, the actual movie became accessible. In other words, the film appears to have been published with the wrong availability settings. But we don't know whether the underlying mistake involved metadata, a rights window, a publishing workflow, or another internal system. So saying Amazon accidentally pressed the wrong button is a good way of describing the outcome, but the precise technical failure hasn't been confirmed. Why did Amazon even have the movie? This is actually the key to understanding how something like this could happen. Just because Mutiny was supposed to be a theatrical movie doesn't mean a digital version wouldn't already exist inside Amazon systems. Major movies usually have their digital assets and product pages prepared well before release. Amazon can create a movie's page in advance for future rentals, purchases, pre-orders, or eventual streaming availability. That's normal. The problem is that having the movie inside the system is very different from making it publicly watchable. It's like having a movie sitting in a warehouse but accidentally opening the doors before the official release. And that's apparently what happened with Mutiny. Why is this such a big deal? Because the timing was terrible. The movie wasn't accidentally released a month early. It wasn't released after its theatrical run. It appeared roughly 48 hours before opening weekend. That's arguably one of the worst possible moments for a theatrical leak. Opening weekend is extremely important for a movie. Studios spend huge amounts of money trying to get audiences into theaters during those first few days. Theaters schedule screens based on expected demand. International distributors advertise the movie. Reviewers publish their reactions. And audiences decide whether they want to buy tickets. Then suddenly, some people had a chance to watch the entire movie at home. What happened after Amazon removed it? Amazon eventually removed Mutiny. The movie became unavailable on Prime Video. But removing the listing couldn't undo what had already happened. People had watched the film. Some had recorded it. And, unsurprisingly, copies began appearing online. That transformed an accidental streaming mistake into a piracy problem. Lionsgate's anti-piracy team reportedly began working to limit the spread of the leaked movie. And that's where the financial consequences become much more serious. A movie can be removed from Amazon, But once a high-quality digital copy reaches the internet, it can be extremely difficult to contain. Why are international distributors angry? This is probably the biggest business consequence of the leak. Mutiny isn't only being released in the United States. International distributors have also invested money in the movie. Some territories had release dates later than the United States. That means an unauthorized high-quality copy appearing online before those releases potentially gives audiences a way to watch the film without buying a ticket. According to reports, some international buyers are extremely unhappy and have described the situation as potentially a multimillion-dollar problem. That's understandable. Imagine paying for theatrical distribution rights in your country, spending money on advertising and booking cinemas, only to discover that a pristine copy of the movie is already circulating online. That's a nightmare for a distributor. Did Amazon intentionally leak Mutiny? There has been speculation about this online. Some people wondered whether the leak could have been a publicity stunt. After all, accidental availability created enormous attention for the movie. But there is no credible evidence that the leak was intentional. The film's production companies and Lionsgate were not Amazon Productions, and the movie had been marketed as a theatrical release. The reports currently point toward an accidental platform error rather than a deliberate campaign. And if this really were a marketing stunt, it would be an extremely risky one. A studio wouldn't normally want to give away a movie's entire theatrical experience 2 days before opening weekend, especially when international distributors have paid for exclusive theatrical windows. Was Mutiny hacked? There is also no indication that this was a traditional hack. That's another important distinction. The movie wasn't stolen from a studio server and then uploaded to some random website. It appeared inside Amazon Prime Video itself. That strongly suggests an internal publishing or availability error. The movie was already in Amazon's ecosystem. The mistake was making it accessible before it was supposed to be. So this appears to be more of a digital distribution failure than a conventional cyberattack. Could the leak hurt the box office? Potentially. But it's too early to know exactly how much. Some people who watched the leaked movie may still go to theaters. Jason Statham has a dedicated action movie audience, and Mutiny is designed to be experienced on a big screen. But others may decide, I've already seen it. And that could cost the movie some ticket sales. The problem is especially significant because Mutiny is a relatively mid-budget action movie that depends on audiences turning up during its theatrical window. The movie reportedly cost more than $50 million, making the leak particularly uncomfortable for the people who invested in it. The movie itself is still getting its theatrical release. Jason Statham still plays Cole Reed, the man framed for his billionaire boss's murder, and the film remains a Lionsgate theatrical title. But the Amazon mistake has permanently changed the movie's release story. Instead of people asking only, is Jason Statham's new movie Mutiny worth watching? They're now asking, how did Amazon accidentally release the entire movie before opening night? And until Amazon explains exactly what went wrong, that's the biggest mystery surrounding Mutiny. The movie was supposed to be a theatrical event. Amazon accidentally turned it into a leak. And now Lionsgate has to see just how much damage that mistake caused.